Welcome to Kutch time. The day is April 25th, 2026, and in Game 3 of the first round, the Detroit Pistons just lost to Orlando Magic 113 to 105, moving to 1 and 2 on the series. Pistons played a struggle fest first 3.5 quarters before finally deciding to come alive and put up a fight. They ended up taking the lead 105 to 104 with just a few minutes left in the game. However, they then proceeded to let up a 9-0 run for the Magic to close out the game. A poor shooting game from Cade most of the game, and another disappearing act from Jalen Duren did not help Detroit's cause at all. There was a little few teensy weensy bits of good tonight. Cade still finishes with 27 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. But he shoots 8 for 23, which is about under 35%, I believe. He shoots 3 for 10 from 3, not good. And he has 9 turnovers, which is the biggest red flag. 9 turnovers is a crazy amount, especially in a playoff game, especially when the rest of the team only has 7 more. It's really bad. 9 turnovers is insane. I get guys like Luka, guys like Harden, guys like Westbrook, guys like Cade. Those ball dominant, heavy usage guys have high turnovers. 9 turnovers is a step above that. It becomes less of, yes, you're gonna have turnovers too. You are now making egregious mistakes. And he was tonight. He was making lazy mistakes. He was making bad passes, bad reads, forcing it. Either going too slow, too fast. Just couldn't find the groove for most of the game. And the main reason the Pistons were able to even come back and make it not a 10 point loss, even though it was ended up at 8, and taking that lead was because of Cade, because Cade finally was able to hit some shots in a row. For a while he was stuck at like just below 20, like that 17 mark. But he locked in. He was shooting better in that fourth quarter, and then it kind of disappeared. Tobias Harris, pretty solid night for him all around. 23 points, 7 rebounds. Not really going to ask too much more from him. He gets the rebounds, he gets the points. He shoots 2 for 6 from 3, which still isn't amazing, but it's a lot better than what he has been. Shooting basically, I think 1 for 10 the last game. So now he's 3 for 16 in the playoffs, which is still terrible, but it's an improvement, a slight improvement. Can't dog on Tobias. He was trying it. He was giving it all. He was hitting a couple clutch shots there, but again, not enough. The guy I want to point out in this game for being probably the best player on both ends was Asar Thompson. The guy I like to shout out a lot. He has 17 points. He has 8 rebounds. He has 5 blocks. He has 2 steals. He only misses 3 shots, some of them being a 3, and we all know he doesn't shoot threes for a good reason. It was a very nice night for him. Offensively, he looked very comfortable in the first half, part of the third quarter. He was dishing it out. He was aggressive on the rebounds. He was aggressive on the defensive end. 5 blocks is insane, especially for his size. And then 2 steals, that's pretty average for him. But they kind of went away from him in the fourth quarter when the run came. Stopped really feeding him. Stopped really setting him up for plays. Stopped letting him run in motion. He wasn't able to score much in the fourth quarter, much in the second half in general. Even though he was the leading scorer after the first half, and I think maybe even after the third quarter, it was close at that point probably. But Asar was good. Asar was the guy who showed up in the first 3 quarters when basically no one else was. That's true for the Cade was shooting terribly, and he slightly improved that on the fourth. Your other star, Duren, disappeared. Tobias was decent, but kind of progressively was there. Kevin Huerter had good minutes. Stu had decent minutes. Even Paul Reed had some decent minutes. Wu, I think, had Javante Green had the best plus minus today, or something close to it. But Asar, stats wise and just overall watching the game, was easily the best player on both ends. And just trying and being active on that offensive end, which isn't a super big thing for him. Obviously, he's the big defensive guy. He's our best defensive player, but it's nice to see him going on offense. And usually, when he does going on offense, usually leads to Pistons win. But Unfortunately, today the other guys that you usually see step up, either efficiency wise or points wise, just weren't able to do it today. Obviously, there's bad. The Pistons lost, and for a majority of the game, it looked like they didn't know what to do. They had 16 turnovers, most of that's on Cade. He had 9, and then Duran and Javante had 2. So not can't really blame it on anyone else but Cade. 9 turnovers is terrible. You can't have that in a playoff game. Um, it's inexcusable to have 9 turnovers, and he got them pretty quickly, and then he decided that he wanted to control his turnovers, control his pace, but it was just way too late in the game. You're letting up too many points, you're letting up too many missed possessions, not enough shots getting put up there, um, and it led to runs for the Magic and easy points for the Magic and bad offensive sets for the Pistons multiple times in a row. Um, it was a very bad game, and it's not like the Magic do have very good defense, and some of those turnovers were forced by them, but a lot of them were just lazy. They were tipped out of his hands. They're just bad off the dribble, turnovers, bad reads, bad passes. Um, a lot of them were his own fault, which is usually a rarity for a kid because he is a very good playmaker. But tonight, turnovers were killer. Uh, not a big segment I want to talk about, but at a certain point you have to question the coaching. This has been an asterisk on JB Bickerstaff's career his whole time, on the Grizzlies, on the Cavs, and now on the Pistons, or potentially on the Pistons. He's very good at getting. He's very good regular season. He's very good at getting a young team ready for the next step. It's just when he gets to making that next step, he struggles. Come playoff time, he's not a performer. He's not. He's very poor on adjustments, fixing the rotations, fixing the game plan, fixing the mindset for your team, and that's killer. And that's why he was fired for the Cavs. That's why the Grizzlies went to Jenkins, I believe. There's always that next step after, and that's the one that takes you to further rounds, further seedings. And this is JB's most successful regular season, but what is this going to mean if they lose in the first round? You got to have some questions. Obviously, you're still not going to fire your coach after he has a 60-win season, but there will be a question mark over his head going into the offseason if that happens, if the Pistons still aren't able to come back in the series, because now they're down. Now they have to win next game, and if they don't, you're looking at a pretty steep hill. Next, Jalen Duran has sucked. No way around it. He sucked. He has 8 points. He has 9 rebounds. He has 5 blocks. You look at those stats and like, oh, that's not a terrible game. He has 5 blocks. He's just 3 for 10 from the field, which is good. But I don't care. He has 5 blocks. I don't care because every other possession he's not getting a block, which is showing a good defensive set. He's missing the rotation. He's being lazy on the boards. He's fouling them on stupid shots. He's not getting there in time, and that's what's forcing the foul. He's not getting a good contest. There's some possessions he didn't block, and then he did have some good contests, but felt like it was 3 here, 3 good possessions in a row on defense, and then it was 10 bad. You just can't have that from star center. And the Stars with an asterisk right now because he was an all-star. He was looking at an all-NBA caliber season, and he still might, just because that's based off regular season. But come playoffs, he's been a disappearing act. This is the second game in the postseason he's had under 10 points in the entire regular season, and he played a majority of the regular season. He only did that 6 times. And in those 6 times, 3 of them were in less than 20 minutes. He's gotten well over 20 minutes today. There was a point in this game he got benched. He got benched for Paul Reed. And I love B-ball Paul. Paul Reed's a great guy. He's a great locker room guy. And when he needs to play, he plays great. And he played great today, like he always does. But you're going to tell me that's not a big red flag, a big warning sign that your all-NBA potential caliber center is getting benched for Paul Reed? Paul Reed's a fan favorite. Jalen Duran's a fan favorite. But come playoff time, you're usually supposed to be able to trust your all-star. You're supposed to be able to trust that secondary star player to Cade, Jalen Duran, and you're just not right now. You're just not. And he's a big reason the Pistons have struggled in this playoffs because you're usually used to Jalen Duren getting 10 plus points, getting 15 plus points, and he is just not. He's getting bullied by Wendell Carter Jr. Wendell's fine. He's a fine center. He's an okay starter caliber center. He's not crazy. He shouldn't be bullying Jalen Duren like he is. But Duren's letting it happen. He's in his own head. It's stupid. It's a mental game at this point of how bad Duren is. And he's got to figure out, otherwise the Pistons will likely lose this series because he can't perform. Or the Pistons just have to bench him and play Paul Reed. Because Paul Reed, in the few minutes he did play, was at least positive. I can't say that about Duren. Either way, next game's Monday. It's still in Orlando, and it's now a must-win situation because you don't want to go down 3-1 in the first round. Now, the last time the Pistons did in the first round was against the Magic. They were, I believe, the first seed, and they came back, and that was the first Doc Rivers time blowing a 3-1 lead. But guess what? Doc Rivers ain't coaching the Magic no more. So I doubt we can do that. With the way we're playing, we suck. It's no way about it. We're sucking right now. We're not having the energy. We're not having the defensive intensity for 4 quarters. We can show up for 1 quarter every once in a while, but for 4 quarters straight, we look like garbage most of the time. And if we want to win this series and we want to have a chance, we have to win game 4, bring it back to Detroit, and figure it out. But right now, we look terrible. So hopefully, we can figure it out and get the win Monday. Thank you.